Residents of flood-hit houses in the Lancashire village of Croston have been urged to pack up and leave without delay, as the prospects of severe flooding once again threatens the area.
Obviously we got flooded on Boxing Day, caught a little bit by surprise by the sheer volume of water that came through the village. There's areas of the village that have never been affected by floods that got flooded. The massive clean-up operation began the day after Boxing Day. We decided to locate here as a central point, so we organised a generator, made sure we had somewhere for people to come, to be warm, to get fed and get a hot drink. That was our first priority. Since then we've just been trying to coordinate the army volunteers that we've had to get out and get people's electric back on, get sandbagging, clean up mops, buckets, but it's been quite overwhelming the amount of support that we've had from as far away as Slough, Coventry. There's people come from all over the country to help out, so yeah. Obviously with the high winds at the minute, they've stopped any operation I believe, but they're trying to get the sandbags to fill the burst banks at the River Douglas to alleviate pressure on any flooding coming from that direction. So yeah, the army guys were in on the first day, Boxing Day. The fire service, the police, ambulance, they've all been amazing.
The Army and an RAF Chinook were brought in to fill the gap, carrying 400 tonnes of sandbags in an attempt to limit flood damage from Storm Frank. Nearly every house in Croston had some form of damage due to the flooding on Boxing Day. Immediately, the community came together to support each other in this difficult time.
The first couple of days were just about getting people fed, keeping them warm, making sure they had food and a hot drink. Now we're trying to sort of contact the people that haven't got insurance and see what we can do with them. But obviously people are back at home, but they've got no white goods. They can't wash up, they can't cook anything. So it's help now that we need from government, central government. We've done what we can do now. We need someone to advise us on insurance companies, people that aren't insured, how we get this massive amount of fridge freezers down here. That's the advice we need. We've got gift aid donations coming in. We don't know what to do, and how to distribute it. So we need people from a higher level to come down and give us that advice and support. At the minute we're asking the public to stay at home and be safe. We're in short supply of dehumidifiers. I mean, if anyone's got one, they can bring it down. But right now we're just trying to sort of take stock of what needs to be done.
Some villagers have refused to leave their houses despite seeing the first-hand experience of this natural disaster. Talk me through the experiences, because you have been heavily affected by the floods. So what was your first reaction when it kind of took place?
For me here, it took place at 8 o'clock on Boxing Day morning. The flood alert came through from the Environmental Agency. So I thought I'll go into the garage and unplug everything. And as soon as I stepped into the garage, there was already 2 inches of water in my garage. And that was 8 o'clock Boxing Day morning. And that's when I realised this was serious. So throughout the day we watched it get higher and higher and higher, and then by late afternoon we saw water coming from both ends of the cul-de-sac, meet in the middle, and it was the most strongest current I've ever seen, and it literally was like the river was coming in through our homes right through to the back, and within I would say 1 to 2 minutes it was 15 inches high already, and it was quite frightening, very frightening. We've had a lot of help from the Lancashire Regiment, also fire and rescue as far as Avon have come up. We only got our electricity restored yesterday, which has been an absolute blessing for people, so that means they can have heat and be able to cook. But the village itself has pulled around. The local sports club opened their doors and has been providing food and drinks and also furniture donations, because a lot of us have lost all our downstairs belongings completely, which is sad.
Yeah, I was just going to say, tell us a little bit more about that, because not just yourself, your elderly parents have been affected as well. So talk me through their experience.
Basically, we had to get them evacuated from their bungalows because they flooded also, which has never ever happened before. So they were evacuated, but my elderly father was taken by dinghy by the rescue to the local pub for shelter. But because he's chair-bound, housebound, he was then taken to Chorley Hospital because there wasn't any spare beds in any nursing homes at all. Even our local nursing home was having to be evacuated. So I've had him transferred to Liverpool now to stay with my sister. Absolutely everything has gone from my mum's house, including my dad's special disabled bed and his special chair that he uses.
The clean-up may seem underway, but for Jill, the home she had on Christmas Day is no longer a veil.
I've lost all my furniture. The only thing we did save was the TV and the TV stand. But a local person in the next village has donated a sofa for me, which is amazing. So I'm hoping to bring my children back home tomorrow because they're with other friends and relatives. So I'd like the family back for New Year together.
Do you think that there's still a risk of flooding again?
Yes, I do. I still think there's a risk. They are desperately trying to fix the broken riverbank, which is brilliant, but we are still at high risk here. So I am actually not doing anything because we're still frightened. We're still frightened of it happening again. I lie there just waiting, every night. I've not slept properly because you're just waiting for it to happen.
Thousands of homes are still without power and severe flood warnings remain placed in Croston. Hannah Sony, that's Lancashire, Croston.